What's up, boys? We're back with some more of the Hell Clock demo. The progress is going to carry over into the main game, so we're trying out a bit of a full whirlwind build here. We could get some cooldown reduction on my survivability thing here. I think I'm fine with that. So the main thing here is that we've got some movement speed converted into damage on double knives, which is the whirlwind attack. Also does lightning damage, and critical hits trigger an electric wave based on its damage. We've got some knife hits on reflexes, which is the instant thing here. Doesn't interrupt your current cast or anything, you can just use it whenever. So that'll give a bunch of mana back, bunch of movement, and melee attack speed. There aren't many melee attacks now, but the twin daggers, or rather double knives I guess it is actually one of the few melee attacks, so we will get some extra attack speed there. Got this just for some good mana and cooldown speed, bit of physical resistance, not using the unique mod on it currently. We've got some big mana restore on that for the survivability thing, closed body, decent mana and movement speed as well. We've got double knives, doesn't slow me down. Double knives adds a chance to apply bleeding on critical hits. I'm not sure if that works with the lightning conversion, or if you have to deal physical with that, but it's only one slot, not a big loss if it doesn't. Shadow Dash is our dash ability that will instantly detonate bleeding, and then Shadow Dash can go with no cooldown sometimes. And then what I'm going to do for this run, since I'm going to be so fast, I'm actually going to farm all of the tiny urns and stuff so that we can get absolutely insane movement speed. So extra area does make that a bit easier to use. I kind of like getting the max knives on that, but I think that's solid. So because I'm going to have so much movement speed, I think we're going to have plenty of time to basically loot the entire dungeon, including all of the urns and side areas, and then we're just going to get absolutely insane movement speed towards the ends. Pickup radius is kind of small, so we will need to wait around a little bit for some of those, if anything decent drops. Oh yeah, I do need to be using those a bit. They don't even interrupt me. So the trinkets are little bonuses for the rest of that current run. We're not really finding much for the double knives, are we? We get a bit of damage. I guess that's fine. Other than that, it would just be dash stuff. So I guess we'll start upgrading that. There is a limited number of slots for each ability based on the rarity of the upgrades. So it's sometimes better to just take a lower rarity upgrade for something good than to get a high rarity that doesn't really help you that much. I actually wouldn't mind getting some mana costs on that. But also area of effect is really fun, and that'll help us break stuff, so let's do that actually. So I'm basically only going to look for super helpful stuff here. 15% elemental damage actually isn't bad since we're converting the twin daggers. I think that's fine for a common. But if we don't find anything good on those, I'm just going to hold the gold and then get an upgrade later on, I think. So we have to just kill waves of enemies here until the boss eventually comes out. I think you can use the dash without interrupting the Cyclone as well, so basically all of our stuff seems to be completely instant for the build here, pretty cool. Ooh, movement speed. We'll definitely take that, even though the elemental damage is good, that's fun. And I kind of just want to see how far we can push the movement speed thing. And I'm wondering, I guess we probably can't see any sort of stat on that since it's just for the double knives. Probably nothing for that. I guess we can check out movement speed at all times. Where is movement under all this? Okay, 133, so we would have like maybe 6 or 7% damage on that. Not a big deal yet, but that'll keep going up. plus it's fun, and that's the most important thing. So conviction on that's okay. Nothing here is super important. I guess we will grab that for some survivability. I guess you get gold out of the crates as well. Damage of area skills. Honestly, I think we're just gonna hold and look for some movement speed later on. I think I'm strong enough that we don't need too much extra damage. Although, I haven't actually tested this build at all, so I could be completely wrong on that. Ooh, knives is the best stat on that, because it gives you more mana restore and it makes it easier to keep up all of the buffs associated with it. So I think I will grab that, although we could also take a basic upgrade there, but that's kind of hard to find. And it's the main one we want for it. Let's see, we have 3.7k. I should probably go for at least 4,500. I think that's for the rares, or maybe the tier above that. And then if we don't find anything by that point, I might start re-rolling and seeing if we can find any movement speed. Chest over there. Whee! Decent damage on the dash, that's not super important. We can get some cooldown on that, and that's a pretty good stat for the survivability thing. You also gain a little bit of a stat boost for every level you get on these, so this gains attack speed, this gives minus skill mana cost, this gives damage, and then that gives physical resistance. So it's not completely useless as well, even if you can't really make the best use of the stats. So we're at 5.5k. I think we'll toss a couple rerolls, see if we can find some cool movement speed. Oh, that goes up very quickly. Okay, we won't do that then. I'll take some attack speed because it's fun. Did not think the cost would ramp up that quickly. Shadow Dash has no cooldown, drains life. Oh, I've never seen that before. Double Knives damage is converted to life. So that sounds like lifesteal for it. Reflexes Knives bounce to nearby targets on hit. Did they add new relics, or have I just never seen these before? Those are both pretty cool. I have seen both of those before. Let's try that out. I think that's easier to fit. I've been using Conviction, which is pretty similar to Ward from last Epoch. Kind of like Energy Shield, but it decays over time. I think that will be easier to fit into the current builds. Let's see, cooldown on dash, that's not bad. Could just keep ramping up the skill speed on that to make it kill faster. We'll definitely want some decent bonuses like that to deal with the final bosses, so I think that might help out a bit more. We are plenty fast already, I think. Although I will take movement speed just because it's so cool. I'm thinking probably cooldown on the dash here. What does that gain again? Percent damage. That's actually a pretty nice global bonus. Skill mana cost. We'll go for the cooldown. Ooh, movement speed. Good thing we have enough for that. Oh, there's actually a bunch of stuff we can break over here, I think. For a little bit of gold and the occasional trinket every once in a while. Shrine of Learning is, I think, 200% XP. That's actually pretty big. Dash speed is okay. Yeah, I think that's about all we would take here. Covering life with potions recovers mana. Double knives is increased by 17. Oh, that's the one we're using here. Closed body recovers mana. Shadow dash instantly recover cooldown. We also have 2 of those. I think we'll take that just to see if we can get some cool rolls on it. I don't really need any of those. How are we doing on the movement speed now? 145%. So we've got another wave survival thing here. The lightning wave does seem to trigger pretty frequently. With all that attack speed and movement speed. Make sure we got all the gold here. I think it is paused during boss levels, so no reason not to. I don't actually think we need the mana cost for that. I thought it would be an issue, but our recovery effects on both of those are doing more than enough. So I think we just go for the basic there and upgrade the damage a bit. That's really cool, and there's a bunch of enemies grouped up for the lightning effects. See, 600 still, so I guess it stays the same. None of those are super useful. We still have plenty of floors to go, excuse me. I'm just gonna wait a bit on that. I think the very final tier of those that you can buy is like 9,000 gold, so if we find something really cool at that tier, it might be good to hold a bit. Oops, little side over here. Skill speed for the whirlwind. Yeah, I think I like that. It would be cool if there was like a relic that made the twin daggers pull enemies in as you go kind of close to them. Might be kind of OP though, but it would be sick. I don't think any of these are too important. Could just grab the retaliation damage on that. Yeah, I think I'm fine with that. Oh man, that would have been kind of cool. We're 200 off because of that one reroll. Okay, I think we'll hold a bit then. 600 is pretty expensive when you're not even guaranteed to get anything good off of that. That is really flashy. They might have to tone that down a bit, to be honest. I don't really need any of these. Dash speed is okay. Yeah, I guess we can grab that. That is insane with that many enemies. Cooldown's decent. Ooh, movement. Wait, these are items. Huh. What do I have there? So that would be 0.5%, 15 there, 3%. That's pretty good, at least. Yeah, I think we'll grab that. Wait, 566. How does that compare? Not a big deal. I think that's the biggest upgrade out of these. Is there an option to make the flashing not quite as bad? That's getting kind of annoying, to be honest. I don't see anything for it, so I guess not. They definitely need an option for that. Oh jeez, what was that? Like, the issue is it's such a difference between, like, the constant darkness and rapidly swapping in between that, I feel like. If the environment itself wasn't so dark, I don't think it would be that bad, but it's, like, a big difference from it. Like, multiple times a second is the issue, I think. We have a copy of that. I think I have all of these. We can grab one of those to see if we get a better roll on it. And then Arion, that's pretty fun, even though it's not the most impactful. I always like going for fun stuff. Make sure we grab all the trinkets. Yeah, that is getting kind of bad at this point. Skill speed for the whirlwind, sure. Make sure there's nothing hiding over there, nope. Ooh, Shrine of Learning, grab that first. Damage of area is decent. We're getting close to the end now, so I probably should just take some decent damage stuff. Help finish off the boss. How much movement are we at here? 177, not too bad. Probably doesn't actually increase my damage that much, it's just really fun. Oh my god, the lightning. Let's actually take out the ones on the outside first so we don't have to worry about dodging their attacks. And we'll try and get that guy. Oh, there's that guy barely alive still. Cooldown on the dash. None of these are super important. Let's just toss our redraw here. See if we can get some damage for the main thing. 20% for a common, that's actually not bad. Movement speed if you haven't taken damage? It might be smarter to do that, but I'm not smart. Jesus, that aura is insane. I don't know if we can Cyclone him. What the heck? So we have 2 slots left on that, and this is the final floor, so we really should look for some good damage on it now. Skill speed 20%, not bad. Oh my god, the lightning is getting worse with all this skill speed. What have I done? Cool build. They really need to tone down the relic effect on that where you crit. That lightning wave is gonna be rough, especially once the full game is out and you can get much higher stats overall. That is going to get really ridiculous. It's already kind of annoying, but like kind of tolerable just because the build is fun. But there definitely needs to be a way to turn down like the flashing lights in the game. I don't see anything for that currently, but that would be very helpful. But cool build. I am definitely excited to see what they add in the full game release. Once they add in Act 2 and 3. Double knives, 15.5 million. How did my attack do 6 million? I attacked like 5 times there, what? That seems weird. I wonder if one of the relics is under that for some reason. I definitely didn't do like 1 million per attack we did there. Summer 2025. And here's what I've had for the skill tree so far. The relic slots are super nice. Another one over here. Maximum skill level is pretty nice as well. Now we have another 3 points, so I could have had some extra movement speed there. 2 more points. What else? Maybe just some conviction gain for survivability would be decent. What is that one? Red portal to skip floors. Oh, I should actually try that out at some point to see how it actually works. We need 3 points to go through there, I guess. Oh well. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.